Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Carter knocks power-tripping Steffy and Ridge off their pedestal. The bold and the beautiful B&B. Spoilers reveal that Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, will decide to knock the power-tripping Forresters off their pedestal. After the harsh treatment Hope Logan, Annika Noel, just endured, Carter will think it's time to shake things up. Once Hope fills Carter in on the details of everything that just went down at Forrester Creations, he'll be even more riled up. Despite Hope's attempts to convince Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline Messinswood, that she wasn't seducing John Finnegan, Tanner Novlin, Steffy refused to believe her. Carter will feel like Steffy was way out of line for firing Hope, and he won't be happy with Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K., for backing Steffy up either. The more Carter dwells on all this, the angrier he'll become. Of course, there'll be an added layer of frustration since Eric Forrester, John McCook, slammed the brakes on Carter's expansion plan. Eric doesn't want to take so many risks and veer away from the fashion wheelhouse they know so well. Since Steffy and Ridge weren't on board with Carter's luxury brand proposal either, that'll give him another reason to fume over their behavior. Carter will be more fired up than fans have ever seen him as he plots with Hope by his side. During the week of November 4 to 8, Carter will do some brainstorming and come up with a way to cause some Forrester upheaval. As far as Carter's concerned, it'll be time to turn things upside down at the company and throw off the balance of power. In other words, Carter's revenge scheme is about to get underway. It's just a matter of how Carter will go about achieving it. Carter might try to sabotage Forrester from the inside and go against the loyalty he's always given them. It's clear that Carter's loyalty is to Hope now, so that'll definitely drive his vengeful actions moving forward. However, it's also possible Carter will quit Forrester Creations and target them another way. Carter might hope to achieve his dreams elsewhere and make everyone at Forrester sorry they doubted his grand plans. If Carter can't get Hope and her line back at the company, he may want to burn the whole thing to the ground. Our B&B predictions point to Carter making some new enemies along the way, so we'll bring you updates on any revenge plot details. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Carter will show off a dangerous new side of himself and deliver some shocking news in the coming episodes. Tensions in the world of the bold and the beautiful are about to reach a boiling point as Carter Walton finds himself at the center of an escalating power struggle. The powerful duo of Steffy Forrester and Ridge Forrester, often seen as the dynasty royalty of Forrester Creations, are about to be knocked down a few pegs by a man who's had enough of their overreaching influence. The story begins in the bustling offices of Forrester Creations, where the hum of sewing machines, the swift tapping of keyboards, and the murmur of urgent conversations create a symphony of organized chaos. In the heart of it all stands Carter, the dashing and impeccably loyal legal counsel who spent years in the background, ensuring the wheels of the company turn smoothly. But today, something in him has changed. There's a fire in his eyes, a restless energy in his stride that signals a storm brewing. Steffy, the undeniable powerhouse and co-CEO of Forrester, has recently taken a more aggressive stance in her leadership. With her sharp eyes for trends and fierce protection of the Forrester legacy, she's been known to steamroll anyone in her path to keep the company on top. Beside her stands Ridge, the seasoned patriarch with a designer's genius and a leader's stubborn streak. The two have formed a formidable team, but their power has come at a price: the growing discontent of those who feel their voices are being stifled. Carter has been the silent witness to countless power plays, watching as Steffy and Ridge dictated terms and overruled decisions, often ignoring input that contradicted their visions. But the latest move, a sudden, unilateral decision to cut ties with a longtime fabric supplier to pursue a flashier deal, was the last straw. Not only did it put Forrester Creations at financial risk, but it also threatened the livelihoods of workers Carter had come to know over the years. In a closed-door meeting, Steffy's voice cut through the air like a blade. "We have to move forward with this partnership, Carter. It's what's best for the company's future. Change is non-negotiable." Ridge, standing by the window with his arms crossed, nodded in solemn agreement. "We can't afford to play it safe anymore. The fashion world won't wait for us to catch up." Carter took a deep breath, steadying himself. "And what about loyalty, Steffy? What about the people who've built their lives around working with Forrester? This isn't just about profits and trends, it's about integrity." Steffy's eyes narrowed, her expression hardening as she leaned forward. "Integrity won't keep us at the top, Carter. Innovation and ambition will. You know that." But Carter was ready for this showdown. For too long, he had been the diplomat, the fixer, the man who patched up family feuds and swept the fallout under the rug. Today, he would be the voice that echoed what others were too afraid to say. "You're pushing people away, Steffy. You and Ridge are so obsessed with protecting this legacy that you've forgotten what built it in the first place. Trust, collaboration, loyalty. You're power tripping, and it's starting to cost more than it's worth." A charged silence followed, the kind that vibrated with unspoken thoughts and tightly coiled emotions. Ridge turned, his eyes dark with warning. "Be careful, Carter. You're walking a fine line." "Am I, Ridge?" Carter's voice was unwavering, each word deliberate. "Or am I finally saying what everyone else in this building is thinking? That maybe it's time for someone to remind you both that Forrester Creations is more than just the Forrester name." Steffi's fingers tightened around the edge of the table, knuckles whitening. She was unused to being challenged so directly, especially by someone she considered an ally. "You're out of line," she hissed, but there was a crack in her armor, a flicker of uncertainty. A knock at the door interrupted the charged atmosphere, and in walked Thomas Forrester, his expression one of hesitant curiosity. He had overheard snippets of the conversation outside and felt the weight of what was happening. Though often seen as a wild card himself, Thomas recognized the importance of what Carter was trying to say. "Carter's not wrong," Thomas said, breaking the silence. All eyes turned to him, Steffi's most of all. "We've been so caught up in winning that we've forgotten why we started fighting in the first place. Maybe it's time we listen." For the first time, Steffi's gaze softened, the steely determination wavering with the realization that her iron grip might be slipping. Ridge exchanged a look with his daughter, and in that moment, Carter knew he had shifted something in the room. It wasn't just rebellion, it was a reckoning. Carter stood taller, the weight of years of silence lifting from his chest. "I'm not saying we abandon ambition. I'm saying we remember who we are and who we want to be. It's not just about power, it's about people. And if we lose sight of that, then we've already lost." The room seemed to hold its breath, the storm inside each of them swirling with different shades of doubt, pride, and realization. Steffi looked to her father, seeking the usual unwavering support, but Ridge's eyes were distant, as if seeing past the walls of Forrester Creations to the days when they were driven by passion, not just survival. Finally, Ridge spoke, his voice quieter but carrying the weight of decades of experience. "Maybe it's time we recalibrate. Listen to the people who've stood by us." The meeting ended without the usual triumphant declaration from Steffi or a signature Ridge dismissal. Instead, there was a new air of uncertainty, but also a spark of hope. Carter walked out of the room, heart pounding but steady. For the first time, he felt like he wasn't just a part of the machine. He was the voice that had dared to challenge its direction. And for the first time, Steffi and Ridge stood on a different kind of pedestal. One that wobbled but held the promise of something greater if they were willing to adjust their balance.